This is what Europeans think America is like.
Europe, the land of Napoleon, the land of Charlemagne, the land of Julius Caesar, the land of the Winston Churchill, the land of art, science, and great culture. What do they think of us?
I wake up at 8 a.m. to the sound of gunshots and violence. Then after that I have breakfast, an 18-piece fried chicken bucket with a 2-liter bottle of Coke. Then at 9 a.m. I start my daily commute from Los Angeles, California to New York City. Along the way, I drive through intense poverty and homelessness. I will do nothing about it. At 10 a.m., I arrive in New York City. I talk loudly about how great America is. At 11 o'clock, I decide to head down to Miami. At 11:45, I arrive in Miami. This is where I get my tan. After that, I head back to Los Angeles. It's awesome that I'm able to visit all 3 American cities in one day. Around 1 p.m., I go out to eat for lunch. I leave the waiter a large cash tip of $100. At 1:30 p.m., I publicly lean against the wall to rest. At 2 p.m., I get my paycheck from my 9-to-5 job. I spend 60 hours a week working. I value money and status the most of anything in my life. Around 3:30 p.m., there's another shooting. Around 4, I discover that there's a war going on in another country. How would you ever start a war on your own continent? At 6 p.m. I have dinner, an entire apple pie that I wash down with a 2-liter of Coca-Cola. Then at 9 p.m. there's an alien invasion. This seems to only happen to the important countries. And that's my day.
Why do Europeans dislike Americans, and why does it feel like Europeans like to talk down to Americans? Now, even though there's a lot of discourse about this recently, the fact of the matter is, this disdain of Americans by Europeans predates any of us. It predates social media. So let's talk about it. As America emerged as a nation in the 18th century, a lot of European intellectuals were starting to talk about their dislike and their skepticism of this new nation. Now, these European thinkers claimed that American people, but also American plants and animals, were inherently weaker and inferior to their European counterparts. A French thinker, Comte de Buffon, posited the idea that the American humidity made these people, these plants, and these animals morally but also physically inferior to European ones. This is called the degeneracy thesis, and it claimed that not only were the indigenous plants, animals, and people of America uncivilized, but the Europeans who were once civilized by moving to America were weakened by the humidity and became as well uncivilized. Now, Thomas Jefferson caught wind of these claims, and he rigorously and scientifically debunked them. For the sake of brevity, I won't be expanding on this, but if you'd like me to make a series, then make sure to comment. Now, not only did Thomas Jefferson debunk these claims, but also Alexander Hamilton. Now, I know Alexander Hamilton is kind of making the rounds again on TikTok. Alexander Hamilton wrote an opinion piece where he was talking about the condescension Europeans had towards America. In the context of yesterday's video, you'd understand why that's funny. By the 1800s, these European thinkers and artists not only claimed the fact that America was uncivilized, but they also claimed that America was shallow, rootless, without heritage or culture, void of anything that mattered. People like German poet Lenoir claimed that America's newness was a huge flaw. Now, I'm not done with this. I've talked briefly about the 18th century, the 19th century, but obviously there's the 20th and the 21st century. Making these videos and researching for them takes me a lot of time, so I would appreciate you engaging to show me that you'd like more videos like these.
But maybe one thing about a European, they are not mainly exposed to the cultural integration of the United States, right? Like we have an Asian Americans, we have Vietnamese Americans, we have Black Americans, we have white Americans, we have Latino Americans. So this idea maybe amazes them. Like you don't have a culture of your own. You don't. That's what maybe they think. But let's see.
I don't think Americans realize how stupid the rest of the world thinks we are. And I can kind of see why. So I've been bopping around Italy for a few months, and the amount of times that I have seen a group of Americans yell at someone or get mad at someone for the simplest thing when it's their fault is ridiculous. A few examples would be when I've been in restaurants and there's clear signs that are like, please stand here, wait here, pay here, things like that with like clear instructions, and Americans do the wrong thing, and then they start yelling at the wait staff when it's 100% their fault. And I used to think people were just pretending. Also, look, like Italian street art is beautiful. I used to think people were kind of exaggerating when they said how stupid Americans seemed in other countries. But now that I'm paying attention and focusing on it firsthand, I see it and I'm like, oh, this is how they view us all the time. And that completely makes sense. But yeah, so as one American to any others, when you guys are traveling, please don't be stupid and give us a bad name, because it's already pretty bad as is.
I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Curious on like Europeans' opinions on why they don't like Americans.
I'm an American that's been living in Amsterdam for about 8 years now. I'm completely integrated. My partner is Dutch, which is why I moved out here. I speak the language. I've got primarily Dutch friends. And here are some of the reasons why I have found that the Dutch, particularly, don't like Americans. So the Dutch mentality is all about nuchterheid, is the word that they use. And it's about being down to earth. It's about being level-headed. It's about being just like everybody else. Nobody is better than anybody else. And if you look at the American mentality, it's completely the opposite. It's about trying to be better than everybody else, trying to be the star, trying your hardest to be something. They find that type of mentality completely rude, dishonest, and how they like to call it, fake. The second biggest reason is because Americans are brought up with the idea that America is better than everybody else, this savior complex that they saved everybody. They are the example, and that couldn't be further from the truth. If you look at things like gun control, healthcare, safety, equality, I mean, the US is the worst. Not admitting to that is something that they completely hate. And lastly, I don't know why, but there is this view that Americans are dumb. We are just dumb to them. I think that's something we're never going to be able to change. They're always just going to view the American mentality, the American mindset as just dumb. After 8 years living here, I can safely say that I totally agree with the Dutch mentality, and I share their view on us Americans, sadly. As much as I love my American friends and my American family, I don't love my country, and I only saw freedom and opportunity until I left it.
We invented the internet. We invented the computer. We invented the radio. We invented what? Maybe even electricity. What else do you invent? Telephone. What else do you need from us? But the disdain that comes up from Europeans, as I've seen from the videos, stems from culture, right? We are considered rude. We are considered people who don't have a code, who don't have a culture, right? People who are rude, they are mannerless, they are ungovernable. That's how they see us. Maybe it's true, it's not. Let's continue watching.
En waar denk je aan bij Amerikanen?
Een gemeenschap wat onder een steen leeft, denk ik wel. Ze hebben heel erg hun eigen wereldje. En ik denk dat ze niet helemaal af en toe het idee hebben wat er in de buitenwereld speelt. Ik denk dat ze heel erg in zichzelf gekeerd zijn en zichzelf een beetje superieur vinden.
This is the first time I've been abroad since the election. And I've lost count of how many times I've gotten the look. That look of awe and sympathy that I get when I tell people I'm from the States. In the past few weeks, I've been to the UK, I've been to Lithuania, I've been to Latvia, I've been to Estonia, I've been to Sweden, I've been to Norway, I've been to Finland, I've been to the Åland Islands. And everywhere I go, I get the look. I have never been ashamed of my country. Never been ashamed of my country. I served it for 16 years. And what I've had to do over here, after the 5th or 6th or 7th conversation, I had to tell them, I'm from Canada. I can't even claim my own fucking country. This administration that's coming in has painted a target on our backs. I'll always love my country, but I fucking hate the cowards that are coming in to run it.
What's your first impression when you meet an American?
Oh shit, my girlfriend's American, but usually they're all dumb.
No way.
They're an insular folk.
Oh, what?
They don't seem to know that the rest of the world exists most of the time.
Exactly, they have no idea what's going on in the rest of the world.
Did this experience come from Americans you see on social media? Most Americans you meet, are they actually like this or no?
Yes.
Really?
My girlfriend's American, and she says to like her family, they have no idea what Europe is.
No way.
Europe is the capital of Amsterdam, am I right?
Give me a general knowledge quiz.
What's the capital of Belarus?
Belarus? That's crazy, bro. I don't know Belarus, man.
It's Minsk, man. It's
Minsk.
fucking Minsk.
I'm not doing too hot.
So I have a friend who is white. He moved on to Belgium. So we talk regularly. I asked him how is life over in Belgium. He tells me he went over streets. They have a conversation with a stranger. Then out of nowhere, where are you from? I'm from America. And the stranger is like, what? Like he couldn't expect this attitude from an American. He's so polite. He got manners. The guy from Belgium doesn't believe that this guy with manners, who is polite, is an American.
So I asked, will the rest of the world ever forgive us for electing someone like Donald Trump? Japan. Not a chance. Trump is just the symptom. From now on, any long-term deal with the United States needs a moron premium in case you elect someone even worse in the future. Netherlands. It's not just Trump. There are 75 million of him that can't be trusted. It will take generations if it is ever restored. France. It's not so much just the election, it's everything that wasn't done to stop him. The United States is lawless. Owie. Remember that the question was, would the world forgive us? Great Britain says, sure, as quick as the rest of the world forgave Germany in 1941. France. US today reminds one of the crumbling empires before the world wars. Arrogant, deaf to the world's anger, convinced of their own invincibility. History doesn't lie. Empires fall, and it's never the outsiders who bring them down first. It's the rot inside. America should stop blaming everyone else and start taking a long, hard look in the mirror.
I left the US 8 months ago, and something that shocked me is that nobody likes America except for Americans. And even a lot of Americans don't like America. When I learned that people have no interest in visiting the US, I was shocked because I thought, isn't the US one of the best countries in the world? But I think that's what they teach us in the US. People think Americans are loud, disrespectful, unruly, obnoxious, pretentious. One of my European friends said, I typically refuse to hang out with Americans, but you're all right. When Americans come to Japan, they're usually shocked that Japanese people don't speak a lot of English at all. And they'll say, why don't they speak English? But you're coming to someone else's country where they speak their language. Why don't you learn their language if you want to visit their country? For some reason, we also have to measure everything differently. Feet, inches, miles, pounds, Fahrenheit. When everyone else in the world uses meters, kilos, and Celsius.
Why does everybody think that Americans are stupid?
I have no idea.
I mean, I understand if you think that we're fat, but stupid? Come on. It's not like we don't know that Asia and Europe are two different countries.
Yeah. Countries.
We also go to school. And hello, we all speak English in America, which is the global language.
Not everyone speaks English, but okay, if you think that.
And yes, we Americans created that language.
Name one page where is said that Americans created English and that it was found before the UK.
So honestly, I think everybody else is just jealous, which is your problem, not ours.
I wouldn't be so sure that everybody is jealous. I don't want to be harsh, but yeah.
This lady is talking sense. Walk around the streets. Get a random American. Ask them, where is Indonesia? They don't know. Where is Thailand? They don't know. Where is Laos? They don't know. Where is South Africa? They don't know. Where is Moldova, Serbia? Where is Croatia? They don't know. Where is Honduras? Maybe they say it's because of immigrants. It's in South America. No one doesn't know that. Yeah, but American lack understanding of the outer world. They don't know anything about it. They are told that the world revolves around America. The earth revolves around America, maybe.
I'm sorry I have to say it, but living in America is such an empty experience. I am in Croatia right now, and I've been to Europe several times. And every time I come to Europe, I am reminded how empty America is. The way people conduct themselves in Europe, rather than the way it is in America, is night and day, okay? The way women dress here is more modest. The way men are here is more modest in some ways. The lifestyle is more calmer. Things are not as expensive. Things are healthier. The food is healthy. The water is better. The air is better. It smells better. Everything about this place is just so beautiful. And as I'm getting older, I'm realizing in America, all you do is work like a dog. You work from 9 to 5. You don't even have enough time to spend your money because you're paying it on bills. The food on the shelves are just literally killing everybody. Why do you think everybody in America has autoimmune diseases and that doesn't take place in any other country? It's insane. So the more time I'm spending outside of America, the more I'm realizing just how empty it is. America to me is a pretty thing, but when you explore it further, it's just fucking empty on the inside. And tell me I'm wrong.
So, guys, fellow Americans, is this true, what they're saying? Are we living in a pod? Are we living in a pod? Are we living in a, what? In a fictional world? Because the winners of basketball in US, we say they are world champions, maybe. But are we brainwashed into thinking that we are the best country in the world? Are we really? Are we the best country in the world? Militarily, yes. Financially, we are the superpowers. The dollar is the world currency. True. The decisions our presidents makes, they affect the whole world. But really, what is our position in the world? Maybe tell me in the comments what do you think.